Hi boys, so we're continuing on with the second video of this lesson. So I did have the wrong date up there before, I think, so if you check it, it should be the 14th of July. Alright, so example number 2, it says calculate the flat rate interest charged on each loan. Now, flat rate interest is simple interest. Sometimes they'll use the word flat instead of simple, it's the same thing. So we're working out this flat or the simple interest that's been charged on $1.15 million. Now that's the tricky part of this question. The rest of it's okay because we have 8.5% per year and we have 4 years. So the time periods are okay, they're both in years. So we start our simple interest calculation with our interest rate, 8.5 over 100. Times, now for the amount of money for 1.15 million, if you just start and write the numbers down, 115, then actually look at the words here. So it's 1 million. You know that 1 million is a 1 with 6 zeros. We need to have a 1 with 6 things after it, 6 digits. So I've drawn red spaces for those 6 digits. Now the 15 occupies the first 2 of those. So the rest of these spaces are filled with zeros. So that's how it will look when you write that number. Put it in the calculator and you end up with $391,000. So if you invested 1.15 million at 8.5% per annum for 4 years, that's how much interest you would earn. A lot of money. Okay, so looking at the next one, $9,750 for 16 weeks at 9.3% per annum. This is per year. This needs to be in years. So converting weeks into years, we're going to a bigger unit, so we divide by 52 because there's 52 weeks in a year. So we're going to write this as 16 over 52 because that means the same as divide by 52. So when we write it all down, 9.3 over 100 for your interest rate, times 9750 for your money, times 16 over 52 years. That's the fraction of a year that 16 weeks takes up. Put it all in your calculator and your interest is $279. Okay, moving over here to number 3. Harry owed $783.26 on his credit card. The credit card company charged him 1 month's simple interest at 18% per annum. How much interest was he charged? So we're finding interest. If they don't say anything, we always assume that it's simple interest. So if they don't say it's some other type of interest, which we haven't learned yet, you always assume that it's simple interest. So to find our simple interest, we've got 18% per annum per year, so 18 over 100, that's per year, so over on the end we're going to have years. So times by the money, $783.26, and then times by, now we have 1 month, we have to convert the 1 month into years. To go from months to years, we divide by 12. So we're putting it over 12. There's our divide by 12. Put it all in your calculator and you'll get this decimal. And if we round it off to 2 decimal places for money, draw the line after 2 decimal places, look at the next digit. That's 5 or more, so this is going to go up by 1 to 75 cents. Okay, number 4. We're looking at finding the final value this time, not the interest. So we're finding the final value of $10,000, which is invested for 3 years at 4% per annum. So we're assuming simple interest because they didn't say it was anything else. Per year, years, these are all fine to go. So we're going to start with finding our simple interest. 4% times the money times 3 years. So we know these are both okay for the time period. Put it in your calculator and you're going to get $1,200. That's the interest that this $10,000 has earned for you. So now we're going to find the final value of what would appear in your bank account at the end of that time. So to start with, your bank account said it had $10,000 in it, but since then it's earned some interest, so we have to add that on. So your final balance or final value in your bank account will be the original $10,000 plus the interest that you earned, and now your bank account balance will be $11,200. All right, looking at the next example, number 5, Leanne borrowed $6,000 to go on a holiday at 12% per annum flat rate interest. That's the same as simple interest for 2 years. So firstly, we're calculating the total interest. So we know what to do here. It's 12%, 12 over 100. Now that's per year. Times by the money, times by 2 years. So the time periods are both fine, they're both in years. Work it out and you've got interest of $1,440. The second step is to find the total amount that Leanne must repay. Now this is a little bit of a clue when they say the word total. We're going to be adding somewhere. Okay, so when you repay the bank, you must repay the loan plus the interest on the loan. So the loan amount was $6,000. You've got to pay that back to the bank. Plus, you've got to also pay back the interest that they're charging you. So altogether, you're going to be paying back the bank $7,440 for your holiday. So it would have been much better had you saved the $6,000 and just gone on a nice holiday. But now the holiday has cost you $7,440. Okay, the next thing we're working on today is simple interest rate. Now, when we look at interest rates, if you walk past any bank and they're talking about how much you can earn on your investment or how much they're charging you on their loans, they will always be written like this, percent per annum. It gives everybody a similar sort of comparison rate to be able to compare all these different interest rates that they're going to give you, because if one talked per month and one talked per day, it's very difficult to start comparing them. So interest rates are always percent per annum. Now to work that out, it's a little harder than what we've been doing. So simple interest rate, to get a percent per annum answer, to get a percentage, you have to times by 100. So to get a percentage, you know you're going to have to times by 100. Now at the beginning here, we will have a fraction. Interest is the main thing we're dealing with, and per annum tells you that it has to be yearly. So put those two things together, and you have to have yearly interest on the top. On the bottom is always the amount you're investing or the amount you're borrowing. That's called the principal. Okay, so the tricky bit is this top bit. A lot of people put the interest up there, but they don't put the yearly interest. So we'll be doing some examples on that in the next video for this lesson.